guys, welcome back to another episode of Movies with James and Friends. So welcome. We have got a very, very special guest for you guys today. Link down in the description to find Sarah's popcorn chat. And here she is. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. And hi, James. How you doing?
Yes, really good. Thank you. Really good. We're all good to go. We've got loads to delve into and chat about today. So sit back for the next hour, guys. If you watched last week's episode, then this is all led by you guys. So I'll obviously have some questions to ask Sarah as we go. And there's an opportunity for me to network into the movie social media network that we've got here in the world. But this is very interesting because Sarah is very close to me. We're both living in South Wales, so we're very we breathe the same air. You know, this Welsh air, Sarah. I guess
it smells a lot of like sheep poo and stuff like that.
Yes, well, yeah. There is a stereotype there, guys, that we have. So we have got some people that have joined us already. So Professor Griswold, hey, you was here last week. Evening, how is things? And then we also have Kid Woody Capri. Hey, how's it going? So as you know, we've got a few viewers in there, so keep the comments coming and we will react to them as we go. But Sarah, how is things? Tell everybody about you. If anyone doesn't know, what do you do and all of that?
Yeah, so my name's Sarah, but I also go under the name Popcorn Chat. So I have a YouTube channel as well, talking about the latest films, TV shows. I might do the odd vlog at like a Comic Con or something like that. But yeah, the sort of Popcorn Chat platform just allows me to talk about latest releases, my sort of passions, like a lot of like horror films, a lot of like indie films and film festivals themselves. So it's a real mixture of stuff across, you know, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. But it's just, you know, an interesting thing that I've been doing for like 4 years now. So yeah, it's been crazy to see what kind of journey it's been, really, this sort of hobby.
Yes. Yeah, you've delved into things like film festivals. I think you went to one recently and all of that. Talk more about that, like which ones you've been to and what you find interesting about that space.
Yeah, I've done a couple of festivals now. I've done London Film Festival twice now, which is quite a big one. It's quite an expensive one, so I've not gone for the last 2 years. But I've sort of spread it out a little bit more local ones. I do a lot in Bristol. There's a really cool one, which I think you'd probably love, James, which is called Forbidden Worlds Film Festival. And it's like a genre film festival. So they do a lot of sci-fi or like martial arts films, all on a big IMAX screen. So that's really fun. I was recently in Glasgow as well for the Glasgow Film Festival. And I got to see a bunch of films that haven't had their UK release date. So there's a real benefit of going to them because you get to see things early and like meet like-minded, like those other like content creators there and like some actors who I got to speak to. So yeah, it's very cool. I'm just blagging my way through it. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yes, you got name drop some actors that you got a chance to speak to, because I did see 1 or 2 on Instagram recently that people might know.
Yeah, the one in Glasgow was George McKay, who I'm sure most people recognize him from one film or another, where it's 1917, Pride. He's done so many films. I think he was great, and he was such a nice person in like the small interaction we had. I guess the kind of biggie I had last year was Josh O'Connor. It was sort of the height of challenges, but he was talking about a little indie film he did, and that was still surreal that it happened. It was very much a pinch me moment, but that was very, very cool.
Cool. Good stuff. Well, guys, there's a link in the chat there as well, also down in the description, although the one in the description doesn't appear to be a link because I think I needed the HTTPS in front of it. So I've put it in the chat and I'll paste it a few times as we go. But yeah, so if you are watching this after the fact, though, because there was a few people that did that last week, there's all the links down in the description for you, of course, as always. So Professor Griswold, he is doing all right, of course. How was your week? Not a bad week, to be honest, for me. Pretty busy. I will say I did go on tour on the weekend, guys. You might have seen, for those Instagram followers of me yesterday, Cheltenham and Gloucester. I think the Blu-ray hunting video might be an hour long, so you might thank me or hate me. Depends if you want to see me for an hour. But I think it's going to be a long one. And there's also going to be a video going up this evening, which I managed to edit today. So stay tuned for that. So, Sarah, how was your week? Do you have a good week? You all good?
Yeah. Amongst work, it's been good. I don't think Did I go to the cinema? I went to the cinema once, which is probably sacrilegious to say. But yeah, I went to the cinema yesterday. I saw Flow, which was great.
Yeah, I've seen Flow as well. I went on Friday to see Flow.
Yeah, that was a really nice film, really sort of pleasant.
Yeah.
Have
you seen Wild Robot as well?
No, I haven't. No, I missed that one from last year. But it feels like the same kind of art style kind of vibe to it.
Because I hadn't seen Flow before the Oscars, obviously, when it won the Best Animated Feature. Flow. So I was a bit like, I was all in on Wild Robot because that's all I'd seen, obviously. But I can kind of, watching them both, I can kind of get why Flow won it. You know, it looks incredible. But I think for me, Wild Robot's slightly a little bit better just because it's more of a well-rounded film and maybe more of my style because it, like Flow is, almost like there's no words in it, is it? There's no dialogue.
No.
You've got to really pay attention. But I understand and I appreciated the pure art. It's great.
Yeah.
I'd recommend Wild Robot. 100%.
Yeah, I know. I need to watch it. They still show it like every now and then. Like there's a screening like the Odeon for like on a Saturday at 10 in the morning or something, like a kids one. So maybe I'll go along.
Yes, you should. I would recommend. 100%. We've got Sharks TV here. Howdy, folks. Hey everybody. Messages coming in thick and fast. So nice to see. We got Chris Quilly. Chat and subscribe channel message. Chris Quilly. Okay, not really sure what that is, but thanks. Yeah. Little shout out to subscribe to both of us. All links down below. Scottish Geek Guy, howdy folks. How is it going?
You know, he's who I met in Glasgow. I met James. I think he's a fellow James. Yeah, met in Glasgow. A content creator that we've followed for each other for ages, and then we actually met because he was also doing press. So if you like physical media, Scottish Geek Guy.
There we go. I will check you out later, James. Down we also got on there. So only went to see one film this week as well. The Hans Zimmer movie. It's brilliant. Yeah, I saw it on Wednesday in SeaWorld last week, and I was emotional. I gave I don't give 5 stars that often on Letterboxd, right? But this was a 5-star for me. Experience-wise, it was just incredible, and just the whole setup of it. I mean, it was just amazing.
Is it literally just a concert, like it's been recorded?
Yeah, so it's like it's a concert recording. It was in Dubai, and they've also added some extra bits around the city of Dubai, let's just say. So there's some incredible shots and scenes, specific films. The editing is incredible. It'll go from, I don't want to give too much away, but it goes from one thing to another, and it's just like back and forth. And it is, a real like wow thing. And even the venue that they were at, Coca-Cola venue, I think it was called, in Dubai, was just like incredible. And then in between certain songs, they'd have like Christopher Nolan there sitting down with Hans Zimmer chatting, or Johnny Marr, or Jerry Bruckheimer, Zendaya, all actors and people that work with Hans and stuff along the years. So really, really well worth it. I'll skip ahead to James's comment there, but echoing what I'm saying, emotional experience. I've seen his live show 3 times, therefore check out the live show if you can. So I'm going in December. I've booked to see him in
amazing.
So honestly, if you get the chance to go and see it, anybody, I would highly recommend that. So we got Kid Woody Capri says Wild Robot is a must-see in my opinion. Yes.
I know, and he's changed that.
I'm echoing that. And then James has also come back saying, yes, indeed, a fellow James. Go by Jimmy on here. So Jimmy is here. Kid says, as is A Memoir of a Snail. I haven't seen that one.
No, I haven't seen that. That's like a stop motion.
Yeah.
New Zealand animation, maybe something like that.
So.
I've heard good things, but again, I've just not had the time to see it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, keep the messages coming along, guys. We will respond back to them as we go and have conversations and all of that. But I asked this question to Aidan last week in terms of what type of things are you looking forward to this year and all of that. So what would you say, Sarah, now is your most anticipated film for this year? What would you say?
Gosh. I don't know what's coming. I mean, I was saying until its release was going to be Mickey 17, which I'm a hypocrite for because I've not even seen it yet. I was like, that's my most anticipated film of 2025 because I love Bong Joon-ho. I think he's a great director, and R-Pat and all that. So I'm going to hopefully see it tomorrow, I think. But after that, I don't know what else has really kind of grabbed my attention. I've seen a few trailers for a few things. I don't know what else. I don't think there's any big
It is a bit on the spot, but we can come back. We can loop back around for it.
I can't think of anything else
this
year. Cause I don't know. Remember looking at the beginning of the year and I was like, oh, it's not.
It was quite bland. Yeah, agree. So I think last week I said mine was Superman, and then Avatar, the new Avatar at the end of the year.
Oh, was that this year as well?
Yeah, December. Warfare as well was another one.
Yes,
with Will Poulter. I saw that trailer today when I went. I went today to see Alto Nights as well.
Oh yeah.
So I had a hell of a weekend in the cinema. I basically did Friday, Saturday, Sunday each day in the cinema.
Wow.
So
I'm impressed.
one sort of a day. So I'm done now until next weekend. So
that's dedication.
Yeah, it's a lot. But on Mickey 17 though, Mickey 17 is my film of the year so far. In my
so you're in quite the likes it, because I've heard a few mixed things.
I really liked it, and I think it's my sci-fi, maybe my sci-fi nerdiness that that came. It was good world building. I want to see more. I want to see a spin-off or a sequel. Like we're not going to get it, but I would love that, because I think the world that was created, in my opinion, was honestly really good. And it looked amazing. Rob Pattinson as well was just picked up where he left off, really, from Batman. Do you mean just in terms of his good performance there? I thought he really good performance again. So without saying too much, if you're anticipated film of the year, hopefully you're in the same camp as me. Look forward to your reviewing.
I literally I bought Okja on Criterion a couple of weeks ago. And which I've seen already, and I love it. Like, I think it's one of his underrated ones. And I said to someone, "Is it like Snowpiercer across like Okja vibes?" And they were like, "Yeah, pretty much." I was like, "Okay, I should love it." So hopefully I'll love it.
I agree. Right, we've got 3 messages here, so we'll get into that. So Jimmy, Scottish Geek Guy, has said, do you remember your first DVD or VHS? He said to myself, but I was going to ask you these questions in terms of physical media. You mentioned Criterion there, so we'll delve into that, like, do you collect physical media and whatnot? But what's our first ones then? First ones we bought. This is a long way back, this will be. I can't say, other than the VHSs I've bought on the Blu-ray hunts recently, I ever bought a VHS, because I think I'm
I don't think so either.
I'm too young for that, believe it or not, guys. DVD, however, I can't remember, but I remember my first Blu-ray, so I'll do a bit of a cop-out, and it was Toy Story. When they re-released Toy Story 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, I remember paying $15.99 from play.com.
Wow, what a throwback. Play.com.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And I remember putting my PS3 and just being blown away by Blu-ray, and I was like, "Oh, I can't watch DVD ever again." So I vividly remember that. So, what about? Do you remember any of your early pickups of physical media?
Yeah, I think I'm the same as you, James. Like, I had VHSs growing up, but my mum would have bought them because I was way too young. But DVD, oh my gosh. I remember like having like really fond memories of like when you'd go around the supermarket, like on a big food shop with like your parents, and like going to like the DVD section. So I remember like picking up things like, I remember really vividly picking up The Wizard of Oz, and it had like this musical button on it. You know, remember like DVD slips used to have like buttons or like 3D elements, like it had that. I don't know if it was my first, but it's one that really sticks out, and I was probably maybe 7 or 8 really. That was a really strong one. And then Blu-rays I sort of got into when I was about 17, because I started to think, actually, I first said, oh, I'm going to get Blu-rays for the really good visual films that I've seen already, and I think deserve to have that extra thing. And I think it was Inception. Inception was the first one for me that
decent. Very decent.
Like, and again, that had a 3D cover, like when you twisted it. I've still got it somewhere. I was like, I'm gonna be really picky, and then like as of since I'm never like, you wouldn't catch me buying a DVD except for in a charity shop. I've become really snobby now.
Same. I did a video recently of DVD Blu-ray versus 4K. it's done mega like subscriber base in terms of people that's like. But anyways, it's such a general video, I guess, that people search for, like, what's the difference between each one. And I was blown away, but I come from at the end of it understanding why, you know, some films DVD is fine, was what I said in the video, but in some films it's not. I think if there's too much movement, I just don't think the resolution could keep up with the, you know, that. Whereas Blu-ray was good then at keeping the sharpness with the movement. But for dialogue scenes, if you're watching a comedy or you know, DVD is totally fine kind of thing. But I'm a bit like you, Blu-ray all the way, or
unless there's like
my shelves
4 for £1 in the charity shop, then sure, I'll get some DVD.
But my shelves are Blu-ray size, so they won't fit, you know. So one of them. So we've got then Professor Griswold said, did you manage to check out any Radiance titles, James? Unfortunately, I didn't. I will have a look at them. Sorry, I just haven't had a chance to go back to the last stream, but I will have a look this week. Phil with a double L. Are you seeing Novocaine? Looks like between that and Companion, Jack Quaid is smashing the first quarter of 2025. I really enjoyed Companion. I see you nodding this area. Looking forward to Novocaine.
I mean, I've seen Companion and I loved that. I thought it was a really good kind of, it's not horror, it's like a thriller, sci-fi kind of thing. And obviously I've watched The Boys and I watched Scream. So I think Jack Quaid, as far as Nepo babies go, I think he's a pretty good one because I think he's actually got the skills to match it. So I think, I'm excited for Novocaine, for him to sort of take on that more sort of leading role, a bit more action in it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, Companion was pretty good, to be honest. But I think Novocaine, I think, is going to be a little bit.
Yeah. Is it out next week? Is it?
28th, but I think there's a unlimited screening on Wednesday in in Newport Cinema, anyways. So maybe out a bit early in some places. But Jack Quaid for me is I love-hate, really. I kind of like him in some things, don't really like him in other things. So it's a bit of a like, he is smashing into. Hopefully, it's looking like it's going to be really good. So, so that's coming out on Friday. Oliver's in the chat as well. Hi, Oliver. He was here last week. If you are in the chat, guys, and you want to message, just put something in there and me and Sarah will get to it. And of course, don't forget to like the stream so it gets to more people. And of course, last plug, Sarah's links are down below. Go and check out the channel.
Or don't, whatever you want.
Or don't, if not. But she's also running a giveaway. Is that still running? I think it is.
It is.
Yeah. So go ahead, giveaways. 32 people in here.
You want a free tote bag? Go to my Instagram.
Get over there. Get over there. We have Jamie Powell here. Arguably, right? I've said this on my video before, right? But Jamie Powell, I think he is one of the most creative BlueTubers on YouTube. Period. I watch it. I'm going to give a special shout out because honestly, one of the most creatively inspiring individuals I've ever seen on the platform. How you get the same different ideas every week, I don't know. But anyways, right then. Okay, good afternoon. 2 very awesome YouTubers. Hope you're both well. Likewise to you, Jamie. Yeah, I'm good. Speaking for Sarah as well, but we're both well.
I'm good.
What film would you like to see a remake of? Mine would be Jim Henson's TMNT costume live action made for adults.
Oh my God.
Now that's a question. That is a question. Remake. Oh, I would say something controversial, but I don't. Should I be controversial? Back to the Future.
Ooh.
Yeah, but hear me out. In animation, not in live action. So
I think that's fair.
I think it's a genre and a film. If it's an animation, I think it'd do really well for kids, and be different, remake, but also the original's not replaced by. They've replaced by voice actors, just like the stage shows replaced people because it's a musical rather than, Matthew Fox rather getting replaced. You can't replace the live action, is what I mean. So, that would be my controversial stroke. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a difficult one, though. That is a difficult one.
God, you'd have to really sit on that question, have a think. I don't know. Maybe something like, I don't know if people really do it, but like a Hitchcock or something, like bringing back the kind of noir thrillers kind of thing. I think we need a bit more of that. So I don't know, like Psycho, like I mean, Bates Motel, the TV show, kind of led up to that moment. But yeah, I'd like to see someone sort of take on a Hitchcock or a Kubrick maybe. But then you're like, Kubrick's Kubrick, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of remakes anyway, unless you're doing something different. Like you say, yours was perfect, James, like saying, oh, let's do animation, you know.
Yeah. Because there's
You
some
can
films
keep it separate then.
they could be good as animation, but then you don't want to like take away like for instance, if I said Star Wars, nobody can play Han Solo other than Harrison Ford. Like, do you know what I mean? It just doesn't. It won't work. Like, you couldn't recast that, and you couldn't recast the Marty and the Doc. You know, so for animation, maybe it would work. That's my answer, I guess.
I think that's good. That's a good answer.
Jimmy says, I'm old enough to have bought VHS tapes. Well, we won't ask how old you are, but
I know how old he is. I saw his unlimited card. I know how old he is.
Right. Oliver says, I love DVDs. DVDs are the best.
Yes, better than Blu-ray, though?
They're definitely good for people that get into collecting. 100%.
Good starting place.
Phil says, same VHS then to Laserdisc before DVD. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a Laserdisc in my life.
No, I haven't either.
Never. Other than online, obviously, but never in person. Kid Woody says, never bothered with VHS. Always thought it was too crummy of a picture and big to store. First DVD that he had was The Big Lebowski.
Ooh.
It's a good pick.
So I recently rebought a VHS player. And brought some of my videotapes back from my mum's, which are like pretty much all like Disney stuff.
Yeah.
And like just buying like a HDMI converter to it. Like you're like, oh, and then like a modern day, like, oh god, it looks pretty bad. Thinking about the nostalgia, like rewinding it and just like you don't know, you're not doing like chapters or scene selections. There's a nostalgia there, definitely.
Yeah, I used to love the whole rewind. You like stop, rewind, and then it goes.
Yeah,
it would go. So, you know. Anyways, fun times. Professor goes, I have only 5 studio Blu-rays. Most of my physical media is boutique stuff for 4Ks.
Boutique stuff? What does that mean?
So I think boutique stuff is more your Criterions, your A24 Digipacks.
Yeah.
Not standard like releases, I guess.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Scotty's movies this year. Hey, Scotty. Just got out of seeing Snow White. Meh for me. Have you seen
that film yesterday, James?
Yesterday I did, yeah. Have you seen
it? No, I've not seen it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, it was meh for me too. I gave it a 2.5 star on Letterboxd. I honestly thought I did my short today. I haven't uploaded it yet, but I said that the first 40 minutes to an hour, well, no, the first half, the first act, I guess, was honestly, I was like, this is brilliant. I thought this is great. Okay. This is really good. And it just took a turn in the middle where there was like 10 minutes that they felt like they'd reshot, I thought. And it just felt like they'd reshot it and stuck in the middle and just didn't work.
Okay.
And then the original songs, Gal Gadot, songs, performance was awful.
Yeah.
Some of whereas Rachel Zegler was, I think Rachel Zegler was probably the best live action casting.
Okay.
Performance wise, I thought she was brilliant, and her original song "Wishing on a Wish," which is, was awesome. Gal Gadot and the other stuff. I actually didn't mind though. Like they expanded on the right things, but then they expanded on areas that didn't need to be expanded, in my opinion. And then, shame. So yeah, I gave it a 2.5. But stay tuned for the short coming soon. Pork Zero says, "Good afternoon, James. Just been to see Snow White, and it's nowhere near as bad as they're making it out to be." Controversial. This is
wow,
very controversial. Yeah. I can see why people favor it, but I'm going to do a video on this. But Disney they've lost it. Like, Jimmy, why have Disney lost it over the last 10 years? Because it's very generic, is how I would respond to that. The second and third act is like a very generic ending to a fairy tale movie, let's just say. And I didn't understand it. What is your favorite Sofia Coppola movie?
Ooh. I've only seen a couple.
Sofia Coppola.
I've seen Lost in Translation and the latest one. What's it called? Elvis's
Elvis, Priscilla.
wife. Priscilla.
Priscilla's what? Yeah, Priscilla's what? Yeah.
Yeah, don't know.
I didn't really like Priscilla. I don't think I've seen many other things of hers.
Have you not seen Lost in Translation?
No.
Oh gosh.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
Probably would like that one then. Is that the one starring Scarlett Johansson and Bill?
Yeah, and Bill Murray. They're in Japan and they just sort of
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like pure like film bro. Like, oh my god, I love. I'd probably say that one. Between the two I've seen, I think that's the better film. Yeah, I need to watch more of her stuff. To be honest.
Yeah. Professor Griswold then says, wanting a Back to the Future remake is making me lose some respect for you, James. Say something to bring it back. Okay, we shouldn't have it. We shouldn't have it. Scrap it. Scrap it.
Yeah.
But not in the live action remake. I'm not saying in remake live action.
An interpretation of it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean, maybe you still disagree with that, but Oliver says Snow White is very good, but I haven't seen the live action one yet. I love that. He basically means the original is
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the OG wasn't my favorite anyway. Like in terms of like Disney princesses or whatever. I was like, it's whatever. Like
yeah. And I rewatched the original then last night as well. And we were watching it. You're like, this is 2025, and this came out nearly. Well, it was like 80, 85 years ago. It is incredible from that point of view. How.
Yeah.
But there is some flaws in there. But again, it's made in 1937, so movies have obviously adapted since then. But it's the original's better than the remake, in my opinion. Lord Buster says hi. How's it going?
Great name.
Great name. And Oliver says we need to know the release date for Fast 11. That's true. I can't see us having it this year though. Now.
Are you a fan of those films?
The earlier ones, yeah.
Yeah, I think actually the first two, and that's it.
Yeah, first two. I got a bit of nostalgia with number 3 because the soundtrack is really cool. I used to listen to my little Sony Walkman back in the day. So yeah, 1, 2, and 3 maybe, but after that, I say I got a soft spot for number 5 as well when they're in Brazil. That's quite cool. The Rock's first one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They got the big the vault behind the cars. I mean, physically it shouldn't happen because cars would just get flung away by this big steel massive vault. But it's still quite a fun film. Driving.
In the last one, number 10, didn't they go to space or something? I heard.
Yeah. Like Jason Momoa was the actually linked to number 5. He was like the son of the gang guy that died based on the vault coming and knocking the car out. So he was written into it, and it's like he was part of the car, but he survived. So that's how they added it in. He was in the car but survived. That's how it links back to number 5. Yeah.
Oh god.
But number 11 is going to be a pretty. Well, I don't know how they're going to do it because they are going to wrap it up. In terms of it's the last one. And it'd be interesting if they do anything for like Paul Walker and stuff. I know they've kind of like that chapter's there, but like if they're wrapping up the franchise as a whole, and Paul has been mentioned a couple of times, obviously as a character still in the ones after. Be interested to see if they do something.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Even if it's just a montage at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was such a key part to those early films, wasn't he? So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe I should watch them all before 11 comes out.
Yeah. Well, I've recently picked up the box set, and I've now got all the box set, so I got all of them. But yeah. NS says Back to the Future is my favorite movie, but an animated version would be cool if it had the animation style of Spider-Verse. Yeah, see what I mean? Like something different, fresh remake, but the original's still there that we love. Yeah, and a new audience will enjoy it.
Yeah,
just an opinion. Professor Griswold says, got my Deep Blue set from Arrow last week. Have you seen Deep Blue Sea, James? If so, what did you think? This is a shark film with Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah,
I don't think I have. No, I've not.
I've got it on Blu-ray. I picked it up recently on a Blu-ray hunt, and it's one of them that I was like, oh, I've seen quite a lot of it. You know, where you can kind of back in the day, you just catch a film on ITV, like ITV 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I watched a good like hour of it, like maybe the middle hour kind of thing. But I'd never watched it all the way through. But I did enjoy it when I watched it then. And as I said, that would probably be 10 years ago now. So do a rewatch, and of course, it's had a new 4K release now, so a remastering and whatnot this last 2 weeks. So yeah, but I would say I haven't seen it, but I've seen a good chunk of it, probably. Pardon the pun of the shark. Jamie Powell says Robert Zemeckis has said he won't do a remake of Back to the Future or a sequel. However, he said he would do a film of the stage musical, which is fantastic. It was an animated series years ago. I've seen the stage show twice as well, and it's brilliant. If you haven't been, have you seen it? No,
I haven't. I do want to go and see it though, and sort of see what the differences are and how they do things on stage.
So fun, and what I love about it is just when I went the first time, anyways, I was just sat there, I went on my own. I had for 3 hours in London, kind of thing, and I was just like, "There's like dads here with their kids," and this is why I went with the animation thing. It's the timeless thing of them introducing it to their kids, and it continuing on and evolving as the new fans come on board. So this is an example of the musical. The story's the same, as the first film, of course, but it just had this camaraderie around it. But honestly, it's really good. I'd recommend.
Yeah, I do want to see it. Yeah, of one of the West End shows I want to see. That's definitely one of them.
Yeah. Good music as well, good originals. Like, it's not often that sometimes you get, especially when you think Back to the Future, writing songs for, obviously, like adding songs in. It's actually really good. Like, the songs are actually really, they'll be in your head for a couple of days, kind of thing, after the show.
Okay, yeah.
So you add you on Spotify or whatever as you're walking out of there. You want to listen to all the time.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. Super Steve Jones says Lost in Translation is a great film, but out of print now and set you back about 20 quid on a Blu-ray. So, okay. So if I want to watch that, probably streaming or
Mubi, maybe?
Yeah, okay, yeah, the movie streaming service, isn't it? They got like a...
Yeah, I think that would be on there. They have a lot of her films on there, so
yeah,
be surprised.
Okay. Right, Harry Oxley has just put something in crazy. What a crazy question. Question to you both. What is your favorite movie of all time? I'm going to I have to get my charger because I wasn't that organized for this stream. Got 5%. Let me think about this as well, but I just grabbed my charger.
Am I in charge of the stream now? This is it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Movies with James and Friends. I am the captain now. Send all the great questions in. Subscribe to me, not James. Yeah. My favourite film. Oh, gosh. I'll have to have a think now. I feel like James is shouting, but I can't hear him. Favourite film of all time. I hate this question because I can never pin it down to one. I have like my top 4. My top 4 on my letterbox is not my top 4, forever. That's kind of what I'm enjoying now. So, favourite film of all time. It's tricky. It is tricky. I did do a list at Christmas. I'm just rambling, James. I'm just keeping, keeping the flow going.
I've got the plug. I have had a thought though, and it's a default answer. I always say it's Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith, and it's not because it's a great film. It's just not. But it's the nostalgia, just the memories around it as a kid growing up. Because to me, a film is not just watching the film; it's everything. I grew up with it. I had the lightsabers in the fancy dress. I watched it after school. I'd pause there and I'd watch it frame by frame how like Anakin would move his lightsaber, and I'd copy it. It's an experience, So
yeah, definitely
defined me. So that's mine.
I was just saying, like, it's a really tricky question because like I did a list literally over Christmas of my top 10 of all time, and in the top 10, like I tried to pick something from different like genres or like comfort watches or like artsy fartsy films, whatever. So I find it really hard to choose one. But I think for nostalgia's purpose of like things on the list, I mean, I'm gonna say School of Rock. Like that is a film I probably know the script off by heart.
Yeah.
I just love it so much, and I love Richard Linklater who directed it as well. But
yeah,
that's just a comfort watch. If I'm feeling ill or whatever,
Yeah.
that's what goes on, and yeah, it's like a warm blanket.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
Mm.
It's got to be done. Sometimes you feel a bit of pressure of like, oh, I've got to say something that's like, an Oscar or whatever, but films define you, so how it makes you feel is important to you. So that's a good answer to School of Rock. I mean, it's still a great film as well. Professor Griswold, all of the Back to the Future stuff has actually reminded me of the old Back to the Future TV show they did in 1991. If they did a show like that, I could probably get behind it. Less of a remake and more of a spin-off adventure. Well, I didn't even know that existed.
No.
1991. I wasn't even born.
So,
we're young babies. Rogue says, hi, I recently revisited David Lynch's feature filmography. And the films felt different since his passing. Yes, they do. It does have that kind of impact, doesn't it? When someone has kind of left behind some art. And we spoke briefly about Hans Zimmer at the beginning, and I was thinking that I was watching it, I was like, God, when he passes, he's left all this like amazingness behind, an imprint. And David Lynch is, as you say, the same really. Do you have a favorite David Lynch movie?
I've only seen a handful of his films. I was literally watching Twin Peaks for the first time, and then saw the thing that he died. And I was like, on season 2, and I've not, like, maybe it's subconsciously, but I've not watched it since. I haven't carried on the TV show. Film-wise, I think it'll probably be Blue Velvet. I think that's the one I've kind of enjoyed the most, and there's like obscure, but not too wild. But I really enjoyed that. But it's such a big like hole in my kind of directors to watch. I've probably seen 2 or 3 of his films.
He doesn't have that many, does he? I think it's like 10 maybe, or something like that.
Yeah,
a bit like a Tarantino in a way. He doesn't have a massive filmography like a Spielberg or whatever. But I've only ever seen Dune, the original Dune. So
I've not seen that one.
I've not seen any of the others, and I think it's Mulholland Drive and Elephant Man are the 2 that I'm like quite interested in.
Mulholland Drive I saw, I think, when I was like 17, 18, but I don't think it really, like, I didn't really process it. But I watched Blue Velvet for the first time, I think last year, and I was like, this is cool. This is weird in a good way.
Yeah. Very similar to you though in terms of David Lynch. Like I'm, need to delve into that a little bit more. We need to know how Giselle survived in Fast and Furious 11. Giselle. I'm trying to figure out who that is.
Is that Natalie Emmanuel's character? I know she's in it.
Oh, no, Gal Gadot's. Yeah, Gal Gadot's, because she was apparently killed in number 6. And then in number 10, she came back.
Oh my God, this Fast and Furious lore is more complex than I thought.
James got one of these YouTube channel idea, right? Fast and Furious Explained. Like, that's a great channel because there's so much videos you could make.
Oh my God. I'd get all the trolls if I started talking about Fast and Furious. Because they start talking to me about any kind of typical like macho films. Like, I spoke about Oppenheimer, I get trolled. Spoke about the Bob Dylan film, trolled. So Fast and Furious, I'm just, I'm just asking. I'm just like, come on, troll me.
Pork Zero says, what do you think of James Gunn taking over the Superman franchise, and have you seen the trailer for the film? I have.
Yeah, I think I have. Or was it the teaser? I'm not sure. I think I saw the teaser. Maybe.
There's 2. Yeah, there's a teaser and a trailer that's out now. I'm all for it. I think I said last week, I'm really excited for the new DC EU and what they're going to do. But I'm more excited for the Jason Momoa Logos. He's playing Logos in Supergirl. Like the concept art of the character just looks like Jason Momoa, but like zombified, and it just looks like, wow, if they do it right, it looks good.
So he's not Aquaman in it?
No, so they've cast him as a different role in the different DCU. Yeah, so at the moment there's no Aquaman. At the moment but Aquaman is playing someone else.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh my god. But I did see the teaser of the new Superman. I thought it looked good. I thought he seemed like a really good cast for Superman, and it's got the sort of Clark Kent look down.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued. And I think I saw James Gunn's Suicide Squad, and I thought that was really good. Yeah, I think he's a good director. I think he's going to add something refreshing that they need in the DCU, because it's a bit messy. I've seen a few, enjoyed probably a couple, but it's a messy.
Yeah,
I mean, Marvel's not great at the minute, but
no. But I think it's a great time for DC to kickstart something, isn't it? Just as Marvel's kind of down and trying to figure out what they want to do. So be interesting, but yeah, we can only hope for good content. So we want good movies, Oliver says we need Monica from Fast 2 and 5 to return for Fast 11. Again, I need to just see a picture of this.
Seeing all these character names, and I'm just like,
Monica Fuentes. She worked undercover agent. Yeah, I need to watch Fast Furious again. Played by Eva Mendes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she appears as an uncredited cameo in Fast 5. So that was the last time. So she hasn't been in this since. Yeah, so I really, as I watch them all, hopefully they will at their last film wrap it up.
Yeah.
With something nice. NS says, who are some of your favorite actors over the last few years? Oof.
I mean, I've got one here. Where is it? It's my little cardboard.
I was going to say. Oh my god, that was like on cue. I was literally going to say it.
I didn't buy this for myself. I just have to say that it was bought for me. I mean, I've been on the hype train really since like 2017, I think it was. But I think he's now sort of become worldwide famous, and people are kind of recognizing his talents, like June and stuff. So
he's definitely, I'd say, my most recent actor. Him. And ironically, Zendaya as well, for things like Challengers.
Yeah.
I really like her in that. I think she's brilliant in that. And even in Dune, even though he was more supporting in the first one than the second one. So those two, I'd say, would be like my modern day actors, I suppose. Yeah, because Zendaya, I'm really excited to see Zendaya in the new Christopher Nolan film, Odyssey.
Yeah, because Tom Holland's in that as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So like it's a serious film again, I think, it's gonna be. I think Zendaya and Timothy is my favorite ones of modern day. Historically, though, more historical actors. I do like Sam Neill as well.
Oh yeah, Sam Neill's good.
He because recently he's been in like a modern TV show. That's not on the top of my head. I'm just going to quickly go on IMDb for. I think is it Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, he was in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, he was in that. I really liked him in that as well. And of course, the Jurassic World franchise as well. He came back obviously for Dominion. But yeah, I'd say but back in the day, some of his films that he did are really, really up there for me.
Have you ever seen Possession?
No.
Oh my gosh, James! He's in that, and I think it's filmed in Eastern Europe. It's just absolutely bonkers. Like, like there's just like two main actors in it, him and this woman, and it's just insane. It's experience.
Ajani,
yeah, you need to watch it.
Possession. I'm gonna check that out.
It's not horror as such, but it's just the performances are just
really good.
Really good. Yeah, I don't think I've got any other actors. I just I don't think there's anyone else.
That's fair. If anyone is new to the stream, link down below to Sarah's link tree. I will paste it, of course, in the chat like I did earlier. But yeah, if you're interested, head down there and go and check out Sarah's Popcorn Chat on many different platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and all of that. There's also a giveaway. She's running a giveaway right now. So if you want a Ruby tote bag,
yeah,
get down there.
Yeah.
Fab. Right. So next question or message we have is from Through the Lens saying, "Hey guys, how's it going? All good. Thank you.
All good.
Thanks for joining us on this Sunday evening." We've got Rogue. Recently learned how David Lynch was completely screwed over with Dune. He wasn't even allowed to have the final cut, as well as most of his big ideas being rejected by the studio. I wonder if it's common knowledge what his thoughts were on the Denis Villeneuve Dune.
Yeah, I don't know, because I know he wasn't well for the last couple of years. So I don't know.
I wonder, if there was a crossover, if he was well for maybe the first one and he spoke a little bit about it or whatever. I wonder if there's an article out there or some sort of interview.
Well, because you've seen it, James. Is it quite like crazy in its kind of? Does it feel a bit weird with his direction, or is it?
No, I'd seen the original before seeing Dune, the remake. Yeah, because I think City World was showing it the week before the new one came out, so I kind of went to see it in the cinema and I took the opportunity. I mean, it's dated, the technology isn't great, but as sci-fi films go, I think I get rated about a 3.5 star. It wasn't like that amazing for me, but it was also not terrible. I understood what was going on. And I also took it with a pinch of salt in terms of I was like, I really didn't want to pay much attention towards the end because obviously at the time Dune Part 1 came out and I didn't really want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
So I had that little bit of I'm gonna know what's gonna happen, but yeah, I think it was well made for the time, that it came out. Be interested now probably watching it after watching the two movies that's been remade.
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting to see. But for me, I enjoyed it as a first-time watch of a David Lynch movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good, entry level into it, and then it just gets batshit from there, really.
Yeah, exactly. Rogue says David Lynch has 10 features, but has tons and tons of short films, around 60. He wasn't a filmmaker at core, but a painter, musician, and he was an artist overall. So that's some information there, guys. I didn't know he did 60 short films, though.
No.
That's new to know.
Yeah.
I wonder where things like that get stored now. Is there a streaming platform that takes up all those, or where do those where do they live?
It must be an archive somewhere. Someone's got a hold of them, probably behind a paywall or something, or release a box set. Give me Lynch shorts.
Whole collection. Yeah. Super Steve Jones says Straight Story is an excellent David Lynch film that is often overlooked.
Don't even know it.
Good pick there. Good pick. We will check that out. Kermit's here. Hi, Kermit. He says hi, James. And hi, Sarah. And then Jamie Powell is also here. Says, what popular stroke famous movie have you never seen?
Loads. There's loads I've not seen.
I'm gonna cop out. I'm gonna go IMDb top 100, and I'm just gonna choose whichever one's the top highest on that list. That's what we should do. So,
I think people expect you to if when you do film reviews to have seen every film ever, and you're like, I don't. I just prioritize my time over new releases or watching some classics I've never seen. I can't watch everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the reason why I started my channel was because I hadn't seen much, and I was like, I want to be put into this world, people thing. But I've just done it, and on the top 250 list, number 1 is Shawshank Redemption, which I watched recently. Yeah. Number 2. The Godfather, which I've never seen, so that's my number 2. Not many people will beat that.
Yeah, they'll be fuming about that because people want you to see number 2, which is supposedly the best one.
Yeah. But
I think I've seen the first one actually. Thinking about it, it's not really my kind of genre at all. So
2 hours 55 minutes. Yeah, I've got it on the shelf somewhere over this way. I think so. It's on there somewhere, but. We'll watch it one day. I say that about everything though.
Yeah. It's just things take over. You have more interest in something else. I think one of the ones that I've had for ages is Saving Private Ryan, which people are like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that. I'm like,
okay, I've seen.
No, I've only seen. They showed us one war scene in English in GCSE, and that was about it. But never sat down for that. I've never seen Kill Bill, either of them.
Not me.
Never seen Scarface. Like, I've never seen a lot of these big films, but yeah.
No, that's the beauty of it, though. There's like, you kind of know. That's why I think about it, anyways. It's like there's loads of good films out there I still haven't seen yet, you know, and like that's a good thing. We're still young, so we've got loads of time.
Are really good at like re-showing them if they're like their like 20th anniversary or something. So I might go and see it for the first time, but in the cinema. So that makes it a bit more special, I think.
Yeah, I did that with Terminator. I've been watching Terminator movies, and then I watched Terminator 1 and 2, and then they blinking released Terminator 2 in the cinemas. And I was like, oh, what is wrong? I know, I've already seen it now. And but yeah, as you say, they're doing that a lot more since COVID, didn't they? With like,
it's been a thing. Really I like it.
Yeah, and I find them could be quite busy as well. Like, you know, with the re-releases.
Yeah, I went to watch. They did like a zombie season last year at the Odeon, and I went and watched Day of the Dead, George A. Romero film, which I'd never seen. I'd never seen any George A. Romero, and I got into a bit of a obsession. So I watched like his first 3 zombie films. I was like, these are great. So it was great to see in the cinema. So that was really good.
Yeah, creates new fans, and then you explored and went out to other things.
Exactly.
Yeah. We got Rogue then has also said, I have a feeling that Dune Messiah 2026 will be controversial upon release as Paul becomes a terrible, power-hungry ruler and is about how power has corrupted him.
Yeah, I could kind of see that happening because someone who's not read the books, I was like...
Yeah, he's probably going to have an Anakin moment.
Yeah, I think...
Into the dark side.
Yeah, it's all the same stories at the end of the day, isn't it? It's just on a different... presented in a different way. Yeah.
There we go. Rogan then says Lynch refused to watch the Villeneuve films because Dune was something he wanted to move on from, but he encouraged people to watch it.
Oh, that's fair.
That's fair.
I think.
Yeah. And I guess considering he was probably ill at that time as well, close to being ill. So, yeah. Kubit says, have either of you seen the show Severance? This is the Apple TV Plus original, isn't it?
Yeah, I've not seen it yet. It's on my list.
Yeah.
I've got Apple TV, but I'm watching White Lotus at the minute. That's my kind of current thing. Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
I'm not going to say too much on TV because today's video is actually called My Problem with TV in 2025. So stay tuned and you know my thoughts. So, but I haven't seen Severance. With TV shows, I kind of like for them to end in a way, and then I kind of like binge watching them rather than you know, unless it's like Star Wars, I don't want to be spoiled online. I'll watch it week by week. But if it's something that I don't particularly mind, then I'll wait 8 weeks for the 8 episodes or whatever, and then watch them in one kind of thing. Yeah. So stay tuned for that video today, guys. Z says, great stream. Having watched Black Phone on Netflix, I had to pick it up on Blu-ray and add it to the collection. Your thoughts on the movie with Black Phone 2 expected to release in October?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I saw it in the cinema and I really enjoyed it to some degree, but I don't know how they're making a second film. Like, it ended. It was like,
okay. I never saw it. I didn't get a chance to see it when it came out in cinemas, and I feel like it was only there a week or two and it kind of just disappeared, and I just never couldn't get the time or whatever it was to go. So I've missed it. I've never seen it, but
it's interesting.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
It's got a bit of a cult following, I would say. People dress up as like the killer in the film. I've seen that at like conventions and stuff. But it's interesting that it's based on like a short-ish story by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, and they've somehow managed to extend it to like a 90-minute film, and it feels a bit like, oh, we're just kind of adding in scenes here. But yeah, I don't know how they're making the second one. I don't know. I'll watch it. Being a horror fan,
we should be getting a trailer soon then for this if it's coming around in October. So that should answer why or how the plot's going to be based on what you said. Obviously,
yeah, it's not going to be the same characters. Well, some of the characters. Yeah,
we'll see. Okay, Talking Movies and the Westerns for Life podcast says cinemas near me hardly ever show the older films like they were a few years back. All we got on offer is the new Dribble. Yeah, no, I'd say Cineworld, especially here, they show, because I've got to Cineworld mainly, and View, I guess, as well. But they always have like a anniversary film on there. Like now it's Terminator, as I said. You know, who knows what it'll be in a couple of weeks. But I think previously they had Scream was on there at one point. I saw Back to the Future in the cinema.
Cool.
Inception. Oh, that's the one. They got like a Thrill Seekers. That's what I was looking for. They called it Thrill Seekers, and they've got Inception, Terminator, and one other I can't remember. But they're like, I think it's John Wick. It might be John Wick 1. So they kind of market it as like an action thing, and they got like four films, like one a week or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel like most cinemas do it now. Like I go to Odeon and they do it. And like I've been to like independent cinemas and they show like odd film, like indie film and stuff. So yeah, it's possible. So I don't know where you live. Talking movies, but,
maybe it's a US thing if you're in the US, or I'm assuming. But, UK seems to be quite good. Ollie Gaming says my most famous movie I've never seen is Schindler's List, although it doesn't seem to like the kind of movie you can put out with. No, amazing film though, amazing.
So that's one I've not seen as well. I've not seen that, but I need to be in the right mindset. I feel to watch that film.
Beautiful film, stunning wise, plot wise not so, but just very good. And I've been to Krakow as well. I remember I went to Krakow for 3 or 4 nights, and on the first night I was in Krakow, we watched Schindler's List in the hotel room. When in Krakow, so I watched it surrounded by Krakow, and all of that. So maybe a different spin on it in terms of like the day after. Then we did the Schindler's Factory tour. After seeing the film, so it was like to see it, and then the day after be like, oh my god, this what we just seen, but now in real life was, but an amazing film. I would highly recommend.
I will do.
Brilliant score as well. John Williams score, fantastic. Really good.
Yeah.
Talking movies again says I am looking forward to Warzone, though in the cinema, and Tulsa King is a must-watch TV show. Paramount Plus original, that is,
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
I forget I have Paramount Plus. It's like I pay for it and I'm like, oh yeah.
I've got it, but I must say I kind of never really go in on it.
Because I got it for Twin Peaks. That's why I got it. I did the trial and then I've just ended up keeping it. So I forget that I have it.
Yeah.
Warzone, I'm interested because the cast though.
What's that, sorry? In
Warzone. Yeah, I think it's a good cast. Is it based on the games, like the Call of Duty games?
No. So I went to see it. I saw a different trailer today in the cinema. So it came up saying from director and supporter like Alex Garland, who did Civil War, but it also said from veteran stroke director, and it was this guy's name I'd never heard of. But it said based on his thoughts and feelings of and experiences, because he was an actual veteran who served in Iraq in 2006.
I see.
So he has come back from the war and decided to make a film based on his memories of his experiences. So I was like, oh my god, this is going to be heavy.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was based on the game.
No. Yeah, it's basically a true story and visually what he would have experienced and saw, the director, with support from Alex Garland, obviously, who's maybe more of a prolific director than someone who maybe is inexperienced. So,
wow.
Yeah. I was like, I was like, oh wow, I thought this was like, I was a bit like you, it's just a run-of-the-mill war film and fictional. But no, it's
proof.
It'd be a bit more truth to it. So, but either way, looking forward to Warfare. Black Phone started good, but then just went over the top. Apparently, do you agree with that?
Yeah, it goes over the top, but I think it gets stuck in the middle. I think it's too long, basically, for what the story is. Yeah. Worth a rewatch, probably, for me.
Worth a rewatch, yeah. I will definitely watch it. Like, I tend to do that. That's kind of my thing whenever there's sequels. Like, I think the one coming up soon, Final Destination. Never seen any of those films, but because the new one's coming out, I'll have to watch all the old ones. So I will get to Black Phone closer to October by the looks of it, because I'll have to watch it before going, and all of that.
Definitely.
Ollie Gaming says my cinema does a thing called mystery film. They seem that. Yep, we get that as well. Do you do them in Odeon?
Yeah, they do, and they do the horror ones as well. It's called, so normal's like Screen Unseen, and then it's Scream Unseen for the horror ones. Yeah, I think they're the same day as the unlimited ones. So I see most people online, they're like, oh, you know, unlimited's like 10 minutes before. Oh, it's this. So some people know before.
Yeah, I wish they do like you say, they're the same date, and sometimes say time, like 7ish. Like, I don't know about you, but like I do films back to back in the cinema a lot. Like I'll try and work it out,
make it worth the trip.
You know, 1 or 2 back to back. But like with that, I like go and see a unlimited screening before, and then go and see a Scream Unseen after it, like a double bill. They should do it that way rather than having them the same times. I don't know.
Yeah.
This thing.
Yeah.
We got the last comment to you then. Talking Movie says, I'm in Bexley Borough of Kent. I have a View and Cineworld within 10-minute drive. Both used to reopen around 10 and show all the films. Now the View in particular doesn't show anything until midday. Yeah. I've noticed that because I used to work in Showcase in Nangaru. You might know it. And we used to be open on a Friday, Saturday. We used to have films starting in between midnight and 1 a.m. Like that's
really
before COVID. We used to have on a Friday, Saturday. It was a 6 p.m. till 1 a.m. shift. And you'd have some people come in, like would watch, like, just 2 people would watch a film. But since COVID, I don't think they do that anymore.
No.
But I've come out, you know, if you're like a parent, like, you know, or you work shifts and you can't get a chance, like it was definitely, it was busy. It was quite busy at those times, you know. But yeah, I used to finish work sometimes, and if somebody had gone into the film, then I'd go. But because obviously if somebody was in there, the managers would have to stay on site until the film ended at 3, and all of that. But yeah, since COVID, like my Cineworld, midday is the earliest time during the week. Weekends you can get 10 a.m.s, but the last showing is like 9 p.m, 7:30.
Yeah. The my Odeon, like if you come out of like a film that starts even at 9, 9:30, they'll shut like half the shutters. So when you come out, you're like, am I locked in? What's going on? Yeah, it's definitely shifted.
That's the Odeon. Then you go to down Red Dragon Centre in the Bay.
I
reviewed that recently. I don't know if you've seen that video. But...
Not seen it. Hey, it does the job for me.
Yeah. It's going to get knocked down soon, though, innit? I think it's because it's...
Eventually, they're going to put an arena where it is. So
if they knock that down, there's no IMAX screen in Wales.
Nope. You'd have to go...
I've been messaging Cineworld. Whenever they do this IMAX thing, I'm like, extend Newport, because you can't really do it with Cardiff, but you're not going to have an IMAX in Wales here, and there's market for it.
Yeah, because for the right film, I would travel. Like I saw June in IMAX. Like I would travel for a special film.
Would travel. Yeah. Yes. Well, anyways, that's nicely come to the end, guys. It's like I planned this in terms of you guys' messages. I haven't, but I like to get these to about an hour long, because people like watch them after, and a fair few people did watch this after. So if you did watch it all the way through, thanks so much. Please like the video and comment down below your thoughts. Of course, please go and check out Sarah's link down below. It's a Linktree link, and I'll put it in the chat for you guys. She's running a giveaway and all of that, and of course she's got a YouTube channel and Instagram and everything. So Sarah, thanks so much for coming on and being on board with the show today. I hope we had a good time.
I have. Thank you.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. And of course, there's a video going out in a couple of hours. So stay tuned, and we'll see you then. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.